Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Ford back with another really cool craft idea sponsored by the PEA Pride. Alright, so what we're going to do today is we are going to be decorating a flower pot. So everybody's got a terracotta flower pot. You have 2 paint markers, and then you have some bulbs inside that are pretty easy to plant. When we're done decorating and it dries, you can fill this with dirt, you can plant your bulbs, and then you can watch them grow, put them in the sun. So what we're going to do is we're going to design the pot. Okay, so first you got to decide what you would like to design on it. Okay, you can do pictures of a family, you can do rainbows, you can do any kind of thing you want. If you're not sure, Google search some ideas. Do a sketch, and I recommend doing a little sketch so you have a plan, an idea of what you would like to do before you go and do it. So I came up with this kind of like tribal kind of design, and then I was looking up quotes, and I kind of just want to put the word grow somewhere in my design. So I was given blue and red, okay, to work with. I'm going to grab a paper towel. This is really important because when you get your paint markers, these are going to need to be activated. Okay, so mine are already activated, but what you want to do is you want to press down the tip until the tip completely turns into paint. So that you can work with it. Okay, so we're going to leave those over there. So I'm going to start with some blue, and I sketched out a really cool design, something that was easy to do with the markers, that we didn't have to do too much coloring in. It was all about the line and the shade and the pattern. If you're not sure, really cool Zentangles might be really cool to do on your pot. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn your pot. Make sure that you test out, always test it out on a piece of paper to make sure that the pen is activated, and then you can start designing. You want to work very slowly with the paint markers. It's also going to take a few seconds for this to dry, so please do not touch the paint markers in between your drawing. So you got to really just kind of let it sit and dry. So I'm going to do this kind of tribal design. I'm going to switch between my colors throughout it. Sometimes I'm going to have to go over it a few times so that the line is thicker. Okay, so this line that you might have here, if you go over it a couple times just to make it thicker, it just really enhances your design. All right, the sketch is really going to help when you are trying to come up with an idea and when you're working on your actual surface, so that you're not going in this thinking, oh, I'm not really sure what I'm going to design today. All right, a sketch is always important, and students learn that in art class, that coming up with an idea before we do the project is super, super important. It gives us an idea plan for what we would like to do in our work. All right, so this is my cool tribal design. Now, I can also change it, so you notice that I'm actually changing my design a little bit as I go. And you want to think when you're doing your design that you are working 3-dimensional, okay? The pot is circular, so think about how you are going to rotate the pot and do these designs in here. All right, so I'm going to actually switch markers. So I'm going to grab this one here. Okay, these are actually really nice acrylic markers. When you're done with this, I would completely let this dry before you go and add dirt to this. All right, just want to make sure that everything sets. And the paint markers dry really, really quickly. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to add a little bit of red. I want to change some of these to red. What's nice about them is you can kind of paint on top of the other marks too, which is really cool. I'm going to add some red in here as well. Right. I forgot to add the stripe to the side, but that's okay. We'll add the dots. So this is really relaxing. The hardest thing is trying to hold this while you do your designs in here. Kind of holding them in place. But you can get a parent or grown up to help you do that. Okay. Zentangles and patterns are really cool designs to do. They really are intricate designs that are fun to draw. They're really easy to draw with this marker, these really nice paint markers. So when you are doing this, remember to have fun, okay? Be creative. Okay, this is really, you can be creative in any way you want. Google does really help if you're kind of stumped for ideas. There were some really cute ones on how you can make these into like a watermelon. You paint the top and then you put seeds down the sides. There were some really cool designs on that kind of thing. So it's up to you of how you would like to design it. Now, coloring in areas, the paint markers do color in areas, but I wouldn't color in a lot. I would really use them for a line drawing. It'll look better, and you won't run out of paint in the paint markers. Here, you could do a Pennsauken logo if you wanted to. You could do a sports team. I'm gonna go in with blue on there. On this side, let me see where I did this. Okay. I'm going to just do a little more, and because I could spend a long time working on these. And the sketch, oh my goodness, I can't tell you how important to have the little sketch in front of you is. Alright, so I'm going to show you some wording too. I'm going to put wording on the back of this. When you're coming up with a quote or a word you want to do, kind of look up a cool font that you would like to do and try to duplicate it on a piece of paper first, okay, before you go and do it, so that you have an idea of what and how you want the lettering. They always look better when you do some kind of font with it and not just kind of freehand it. Alright, so this looks really cool. I'm just going to add some colors in here. Some blue. Alright, so I'm going to flip this to the back. So I'm working on my design. It's not completely finished yet, but it's almost finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it back and I'm going to put the word, I want to put the word grow. So I looked up this kind of like script font on here. So I'm going to write this actually sideways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first go over the word, okay, exactly how I have it. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it again. And what happens is when you go over any kind of lettering and make it just a little thicker in areas, okay, it really adds a little character. It starts to look like it's professional. It makes it thicker. It makes it stand out. So it's really important to take the time and go over the lettering just a little bit to make it thicker, to add a little character. So I'm going to continue working on this grow, and I'm going to make this side of the O just a little wider, and then we have our script with our W here. Okay. One thing I've noticed is when I'm working with these paint markers, don't press down real hard with them. They work when you just touch the surface, and they do this scraping noise if you press down real hard, so don't do that. And I'm going to just kind of add a little swoosh underneath. Make this a little thicker on the corners and at the top here. Alright, and there you have it. Really cool. You have your pot, you have your design that you would like, and now all you need to do is you fill this up with dirt up to the line, you press in your bulbs, and then you need to water and add sunlight. I hope you had fun designing your pots. I can't wait to see them. Make sure that you post them on the PEA Pride page. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.